all ye who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Let me blow my strength into your body. People see your deeds. God sees your heart. Because he woke your tail up this morning, and as long as you got a pulse, God's got a plan. He's waiting on you to get out of your feelings and get into some healing. Hello, my most amazing family, Limitless Nation family, all of the world that's watching us right now. I am just so excited because today I get to sit with you and just reflect. I have so enjoyed watching these Unfiltered. We just started Unfiltered this whole month. We've been doing them on Wednesday nights, and I don't know about you, but I have loved them. I love hearing people's stories of overcoming, and it's the coolest thing ever because for all of you that are new, Unfilters is something we do every night with Limitless, our Limitless Church, and it's an online Wednesday nights. We take people from our congregation that have literally walked through what our series that I preach on Sundays, they walk through live testimonies. And so on Wednesday nights, we sit down with them and we talk about their life. We talk about their story. We talk about how they overcame. And so I would love for you to be dropping in the comments right now, what has Unfiltered done for you? I'm so excited about next month. Only If I is going to be an incredible series, and we have incredible people coming into Unfiltered to tell their stories for that as well. But I want right now for us to go back and watch some clips over the last month, September series, and let's talk about it. Let's take clips from each show and let's discuss. Make sure you're dropping comments. Give me your thoughts. Give me your views. Let's go.
My experience with Church Hurt is when people see that you are a light, and when you're coming in and you're walking into your anointing, and people can't handle that because they think that you're trying to take their position or you're trying to outshine them. It's like a competition. Yeah. And it's very sad that you get more love from people in the world than you do with people that's inside of the church. And one thing about those demons is they're always on one accord, but I never understood why the people in the church building always attack one another.
Well, as we were sitting there listening to Eliza just talk about how her experiences have been with the church, you know, where she has encountered people that have come against her, and how she had noticed some of her church hurt came from jealousy within the church. And man, that's what I love about Limitless. I'm going to keep going back here because at Limitless, we are loving people back to life. And so I'm sure you might have encountered that. You might have encountered some time in your life when you felt like maybe your gifts were overlooked, or somebody was jealous of you and you did everything you could to fit in, but yet it never worked out for you. And Eliza is telling us today about how she overcame that, and that really blessed me. What'd y'all think about that? Have you ever encountered anything like Eliza just talked about? Drop it in the comments. Let's watch the next clip.
What most people would say, I missed the mark. I done something that was not the right thing to do in the eyes of the church world, and they made me feel like that. Like I really felt every bit of you done something wrong. I was actually pulled to the front of the church, hands in the air, repent. Get on your knees, repent. And in that moment, I felt terrible. True. I felt low, really, really low. And when I left church on that day, I said, I don't know when I'll go back to church because I felt so low.
Whoo! I don't know, y'all. That touched a little bit of a edge in me. I remember one time walking through something. My daddy was a preacher. Y'all know my dad was a preacher. And I remember walking through something one time, and he was given the advice to basically let the church know about it, and have me apologize in front of the church. And I remember my dad saying to me, I would never. I will never make you feel like you have to live in a glass house. And that's what Letitia was just saying. Letitia was just saying that she had basically made an error, made a bad choice, which, let's face it, we all make bad choices. We're human. That's why we have the grace. That's why God got on that cross for us and said, it is finished, because we're going to fall, but we get back up again, right? And Letitia was just saying about how they brought her in front of the church and made her, just mortified her, humiliated her. And as I'm just sitting here, my heart is just like stinging, because there's probably so many of you right now maybe have not walked back in church because of that. Walk back in church. And if Letitia is so used in our church, like she is such a leader in our church, and if she would allow that one moment in her life to stop her from being used of God, our church would be lacking, because she is such a great asset to us. And so I don't know about you, but maybe you were embarrassed at a church. Maybe you got pregnant out of wedlock, or maybe you got, caught for drugs and you went to jail, or maybe you got divorced. I remember when I walked through a divorce, and man, I was shunned in 2006. And maybe that was you. But today, I just want you during this show to have a talk with Jesus and let Jesus heal those areas, because we need you. The church needs you to surrender it all to Him, so that we can be there for people that have been hurt by the church or by somebody. Really, in reality, everybody's done something wrong, but some people are judging people for things that theirs just was kept a secret. So today, let's let it go. Let's let it go. Might as well. I don't know. Leave your comments. Come on, these comments are so interesting tonight. All right, let's watch the other. Let's watch another clip.
2019, I decided to come before my church and come out about my pastor sexually abusing me. Yep, I came out. I told my family, and the way I told my family was not like, I wasn't going to tell anybody. Like, I was going to take this to the grave. But nobody was going to know what happened to me. It was going to be between me, him, and God. That was it. So I came out to my family, and once I told my family, I knew they weren't going to let it go. So I knew ever since that day, like, my life was going to change. So I went to, once my family found out, I went to the chairman of the church, who is like the right-hand man to the pastor.
How long was it after you experienced this did you finally decide to come out?
I experienced this for, I want to 2 to 3 years.
Man.
Yes, like I said, nobody's going to know about this, nobody. So I went to the chairman of the church, and the chairman of the church, and this was my past church before I came to you. So the chairman of the church, we were very, very close. Like, he was very close to my family, and he was like another dad to me. So I went to him, and I let him know what was going on, and I remember at the end of the conversation, he was like, I hear you. Like, I understand what you went through. I get it. But he was like, but at the end of the day, we have to protect the pastor. He was like, what happened to you was behind closed doors. It was behind the curtain. And I remember him saying, if you bring this before, like in front of the curtain, and you lay it out for people to see, he said, if people decide to leave the church, if people decide to give up on God, that blood is on your hands.
Ooh, that was heavy. That was heavy. Basically, what we're seeing as Alexis is just telling us about the time where she was protecting the pastor and how she felt like she wasn't fought for. And you know what's been so cool with this Unfiltered is I met a lady right after this show aired, this Unfiltered shared on a Wednesday night. And I met her that next Friday in Texas. And the first thing this lady said to me at this event that I was preaching at, she said, me and Alexis have become friends. And I said, wow. She said, Alexis helped me heal from something that I'd been carrying about my pastor for all these years. She gave me permission to heal. And so, man, I am just so proud watching this, because if y'all been watching these Unfilters at all, y'all are seeing that these incredible Alexis and Eliza and Letitia, that they've turned their stories into a message. They allowed God to turn their scars into stars. And so tonight, maybe you can do what Alexis did, do what Eliza did, do what Letitia did, and lay it at the feet of Jesus and realize that people that represent God sometimes are the ones that hurt us the worst. But we can't go through life allowing people that were supposed to be representing God in a good way to cause us to be stuck for the rest of our lives, right? We got to rise up. We got to let God turn our wounds into wisdom. We can't bleed on people that didn't cut us because of something somebody did to us that broke our hearts. We got to know at the end of the day, God's going to deal with them. But we got to rise up so that we can be the mouthpiece of Jesus and can be Jesus with skin on it. Whoo! Y'all leave in the comment what y'all thought about that clip. That was powerful. Let's keep it going. Let's watch the next one.
The challenges that we face, not just hearing stories of church members that have been hurt, but having been on the other side of that, pastors that have been hurt by church. Because I don't think church members think sometimes that when they leave, if they don't leave right, there's flashback, right? There's difficult issues that have to be dealt with on the other side. And so I just think, as you said, if we humanize this thing, if we realize that we're all humanity, we're all in this together, we're all running the race. None of us are perfected yet. We're all in that journey of becoming. And so you're going to have some issues with people. That's just a part of the life that we live in, especially in the church, where we're doing life together.
I don't know if y'all know this, but that was my brother, Pastor Rob. And boy, he just said a whole mouthful there. And I don't know, maybe somebody's watching today that didn't leave your church right. Ooh, pastors have church hurt too. And so that's what we just encountered, was my brother breaking down how pastors get church hurt too, because most of the time when people leave a church, they don't leave and just leave. A lot of times they leave in slander. And I say this to everybody that is a part of my community, everybody that is a part of my world. The way you leave one season is the way you enter another. That's why tonight, all facets of these clips are probably stirring up some things on the inside of you. And if one of these clips that you're watching hits a nerve, that means there's something in you that hasn't healed, that is associated with whatever was said. And so instead of us getting mad and shutting down, we have to then realize that there's something in us that I have to heal so God can use me to the capacity that he wants to use me in this world, so that I can live a free life. Have you ever met those people that never forgive ever? Most of the time they turn out to need drugs or alcohol or something because they have never really truly walked in forgiveness. And so while we're watching these clips tonight, y'all, search your heart. And maybe you need to forgive your ex. Maybe you need to forgive your old pastor. Maybe you need to forgive that deacon or even a principal or a teacher, somebody that was in leadership over you that took advantage of you or hurt you. And tonight, maybe they don't know they hurt you. Maybe tonight is a good night just to say, God, I'm going to lay it at your feet. That's what I've done. And I get to live a free life because of it. Y'all leave some comments of what you're leaving after this clip. Show me. Just leave some comments of what you've decided to lay down tonight and not pick back up again. State it, say it, right? What is it that you've decided to move forward from? Leave it in the comments. Let's watch the next clip.
He revealed to me that because of where I'm taking you, exactly what you said, because of where I'm taking you, you must have compassion for people.
Yes.
So what I experienced with the church hurt, it gave me something that says, okay, no, we're not going to do people like that. We're going to love on people because I have really gotten to a place where I look down on people. Like I realized that it's like God showed me that I had gotten to a place where I'm holier than thou. Now I'm the person who's missed the mark and I'm feeling all of the pressure. And, but he told me, he's like, yeah, this is because of where you're going. You must have compassion. What I have called you to, you must be able to love people.
Man, that just makes me even want to cheer. But if y'all really knew Letitia, that's just powerful. You know, she comes from a great family of ministers. And I'm just so thankful watching Letitia that Letitia decided to turn her pain into her pulpit. That's what she did. And so, I don't know. Maybe that's got you thinking, I need to lay some things down too. Ain't this good? Let's watch the next clip.
Because I had to realize that sometimes the apology that you are looking for will never come. But it's about
Man, that's happened so much in my life.
Yeah, it's just about you being obedient to God. Even if I don't get the apology, I love you.
My God.
If I don't receive the apology, I still know that I have an assignment. And I'm not going to come off of my assignment because you want to be the way that you are.
Whoo! He just said a whole mouthful. Did you hear that? Did you hear what Jonathan said? Jonathan said, I had to realize that I have to sometimes be okay with an apology that I never got. Like I basically want to run around my living room right now. I have to realize that sometimes, how many of you can identify with that right now? Like an ex, somebody, your dad, your mom, your brother, your sister, your old boss. How many of you right now are stuck in a season, allowing a season to define your lifetime because you won't be okay with an apology that you won't get? You probably will never get it. Narcissistic people are never going to say they're sorry because they don't think they did anything wrong. Today, do what Jonathan did and be okay with an apology that you probably won't never get. Why let somebody that's miserable, that goes around miserable, why let them continue to keep holding you back? Today, come on, let's do it together. Let's forgive. Just like Jesus did. In between those two thieves, he forgave. And so can we.
So it's very difficult to leave that cohesion of that relationship when you are offended. It ain't if, when you're offended, when you get upset, when you misunderstand.
Yeah, because all of us do.
That relationship.
Right.
So in our local churches, we're starting to create that dynamic by understanding, a local church needs small groups, connection groups, these layers so that when member number 386 gets hurt, she's got like 28 other people. Girl, what's wrong with you? You straight, bruh? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the pastor may have never been able to detect it. You ain't discerning it on Sunday when you preaching, but you got 28 other people who have caught on to, you supposed to text me back quicker than that.
Woo! He just said a whole mouthful. And Apostle Ramon laid it out so beautifully. Like, you know what I'm loving about these clips tonight is that it's giving us an overall view. And the thing with every Wednesday night is it's allowed us to have these moments where we, hear these testimonies and then we learn to walk through forgiving. But what we're doing tonight is they're basically, everyone that's talking is giving us the answers to most of the questions that we need. Apostle Ramon just dropped the mic. What do y'all think? Come on, drop the mic, put some fire emojis. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
But I thank God that I had a personal relationship with him, that I had to realize it's not about the people. It's not even about the leaders. I'm coming for him because of my intimate personal relationship with him. So because of that, it literally set me free because it's always that battle before that breakthrough. That was my battle, and then here comes my breakthrough.
Come on.
Woo! I don't know if y'all remember this, but Pastor Dion was talking about how she had gotten offended at this church and that she was deciding if she was going to go back or not. And basically, God really had a talk with Pastor Dion and said, So you're serving her, you're serving him. That's what I want to talk to you about tonight. Maybe the reason you're holding on to anger or bitterness or church hurt or any type of hurt whatsoever, when you hold on to something, it means that you're giving that hurt more attention and authority in your life than God. And so that's what God told Pastor Dion. Are you going to really stop going to this church because you got your feelings hurt off of a human being that gets up basically and goes to the bathroom like you, wakes up with bad head just like you, bad breath just like you, and you're going to let this person stop you for real? Like, they can't even steal your birthday. And she said God had this conversation with her. And thank God she listened. And she was like, suck it up, buttercup. I'm going to go back to church. And thank God she went back to church because she met her husband. They just celebrated 20-something years this past week of being married. They are the coolest, greatest couple ever. That talk about relationship goals, that are living the dream because she decided not to let a church hurt moment stop her. She stopped focusing on the person and started focusing on God. Why? Because breakthrough comes after a breakdown. Always. The enemy always fights you the most right before your greatest breakthrough. It's a fact. I say this to you guys all the time. Thieves don't rob empty vaults, right? So where your point of pain is, you've got to realize that that point of pain is when Romans 8:28 slips in and God says, I'm going to work all things together for your good. If she would have gotten stuck in the offense, or she would have gotten stuck on the person that hurt her, God would have never been able to work all things together for her good. So she had to get outside of herself and she had to focus on Jesus. And when she did, she reaped the greatest reward of all. I'm telling y'all, some of y'all are over here stuck on silly because you were mad about a person that is broken. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. And so she just gave us the greatest definition, painted the greatest picture of why you got to persevere when you want to quit. Why you want to get up and move forward, even if it means you got to pull your big old thick thigh, do it. Even if it feels like you're a turtle stuck in peanut butter, get up, let go of the offense, and let's go. That's what Pastor Dion just said. That just blessed me. Let's watch the next clip. Ain't this good?
That's what's so important. Yep. That you know that if you face something else, because, we do. This life is not easy. Mm-mm. Guys, we may be living for Jesus, but it doesn't mean everybody sitting on the pew with us are. Right. Yeah. Our church, it's like a hospital. Mm-hmm. So people come. So even pastors, even leaders in churches, nobody says that they're perfect. They are not perfect. Right. None of us are perfect. Nope. So it's so important for us to just say, we're sorry. Mm-hmm. Yes. We're so sorry that you had to go through what you went through. Yeah. Because someone would take advantage of their position.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, come on, saints. Ain't nobody like me. I remember Mimi, man, when she was sitting there breaking that thing down and just basically, I love this because during the pastor's episode and Mimi and myself, we were able to, all throughout these past unfiltered meetings on Wednesday night, we were able to say we were sorry for all the pastors, preachers, teachers, elders, parents that had hurt or wounded any of them. We were able to put ourselves in that position and just say, thank you. Please forgive us. Thank you for getting up again. Thank you for forgiving and forgive us. Let us stand in proxy. And so I want to do that tonight for you. I don't know who hurt you. I don't know what they did to you. I don't ever even have to know. But I want to stand proxy. I want to stand in the gap for all of those people in your life, whether it was a spouse, a pastor, an elder, a priest, a teacher, a dad, a mom, a brother, a sister, an elder, a deacon, a choir member, a worship pastor, I don't know. But let me stand in the gap for them tonight and just tell you, I am sorry for them. We're all human. I've hurt people in my life, and now I'm pastoring a church, and I don't get the luxury of saying what I want to say. I have to stay at the feet of Jesus so that I make sure that I don't hurt God's kids. And so just know tonight that you are loved, you are valued, you matter, you're accepted. It ain't over until God says it's over. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth fighting for. They might not have fought for you because they didn't know how, but I'm fighting for you. And I'm telling you, I'm excited about your future. Amos 9:13 says, it won't be long now. God's decree said things are about to happen so fast, your head is about to spin. Blessing upon blessing upon blessing. You won't be able to keep up. So tonight, just like Mimi just did, our sweet Mimi, standing and telling Alexis, I'm so sorry for somebody that was supposed to represent God well. Forgive me for them, for hurting you. And so tonight, it's a good night to let go and let God. Listen, if you're ever in the Atlanta area, we welcome you at Limitless with open arms. Come be a part of our community. If you don't have a church home, come get plugged in. Come serve. We're growing. We need children's workers. We need helps ministry. We need media. We need singers. We need court. We need musicians. We need everything. And you're welcome at our church. Give us a chance. We won't hurt you. I always say this. If a church is messy, it's because the pastor's messy. Yep. Because it starts from the top and goes down. In our church, we have a whole bunch of people that are for community. Our church is a good church. We went through some things, growing pains, but now we're at a place where we're hands and feet for Jesus, where Jesus was skin on it. We love you. If you can't get to our church and you don't have a church, or maybe you're just finding Jesus through Limitless, maybe you've never, so many all throughout the week, reach out to us and tell us we're learning about Jesus through Limitless. Yeah. We've never been in a Christian home. We weren't raised Christians. We're helping people get Bibles. We're doing what we can. We've got 72 connect groups at Limitless. On Zooms, 72. 770 something people are connected in those connect groups all across the world. And y'all are teaching them because y'all can still serve and never even walk in Limitless when you become a part of us. So the key is to find you a community where you can let people love you and those people won't let you quit. I pray this entire series, this Unfiltered, tell us how you're liking Unfiltered. I can tell you this, next month, all October, you are not going to want to miss a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Make sure you're setting your alarm. Make sure you're sharing these with your friends. And make sure that if you're in Atlanta and maybe you haven't been back to church or anywhere in the world, you haven't been back to church because of church hurt, come on, get up. Go back to church. You need community. You need community. If you're in Atlanta, across from Whitewater High School in Fayetteville, Georgia, Limitless Church, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Make sure you're dropping in the comments how this series has blessed you. This has been a good series. Church Hurt, Unfiltered. I'm Pastor Kim. I love you. Stay connected at Limitlesschurch.live. You are loved. Loved, loved, loved. See you soon.